Don't adjust that dial, folks. It's been a hot minute since you've seen me and my partner in crime here on YouTube and the social medias. But my name is Ken M. You know me as the host of the ODPH podcast and also a very well-known comic reviewer. And joining me in the co-pilot's chair, as he usually does, you know him as a very, very well-known wrestling podcast host. He's also the head of the 3FN podcast, and he's also known to drop a take or two on New Comic Book Day. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Rich.
You know who I am, but you don't yet know why I'm here.
No, indeed. And a lot of people have been asking questions. What is going on? What is this whole Fanlight Zone going on? Well, folks, that's what we're here to do. First and foremost, welcome to the Fanlight Zone Presents show, where each week we will be diving into the world of comics pop culture, because that is what the basis of this website is and company is all about. We want to focus and shine attention on creators and contents that you need to know based in the world of comics pop culture. Because let us be honest, comics are the backbone of pop culture. If there's no comics, there's no MCU. There's no DC Studios. There's not a lot of the TV shows and animation that you have come to grow up and love throughout the years. Comics has really transcended what is pop culture and really is the backbone of where we go for consuming content. So what we're doing here at Fanlight is showing you the best of the best. We really want to bring a lot of new eyes to comics and really grow the community up and make it into a place where everybody can go, interact, and really talk the best of the best that's hitting the shops each week and in the past and what we think is coming in the future. Wouldn't you say, Rich?
Yeah, and you nailed it on the head. Comics is pop culture. Nowadays, everything you watch, anything you go around, it basically is somewhat tied to either the comic book or literature world. And that is kind of what we're going with. That is the angle that is going with. But we're also going to bring our unique perspectives on it and our own personal opinions, not as just people who have done things inside and around this business and other businesses, but also as fans ourselves. And we are dedicated to doing that while calling it right down the middle, like I like to say whenever I'm talking about pro wrestling, because sometimes when you're calling it down the middle, it can't always be positive. But with that being said, we're not going to also tear anybody down while giving our honest opinions about things. There is going to always be some decorum, and there's going to always be a way to do things while still being honest with you, the fans. Just like us, we're fans. We want people to be honest with us, so we know you want people to be honest with you. So when you come to fanlightzone.com or to the Fanlight Zone YouTube channel and you see an opinion piece, an editorial piece, a review, any kind of our shows, whether they're live or recorded, we want you to feel comfortable in 110% to know that these are our honest to God opinions that we are taking and putting out there to you as fans, as professionals, and we want to have that conversation with you. So there is no wrong answer, because listen, comics in particular, like everything else, is art. Everything is subjective. So what I might not like, maybe Ken likes. Maybe what he doesn't like, maybe you like. And that is what we're here to do. We want to have those great conversations with you while still being 110% honest about what we're talking about.
Exactly. Comics is for everyone, and so is the Fanlight Zone. We want everybody to come interact and talk about comics and really draw attention to what is, honestly, capturing your money, capturing your attention. We want to hear about that, because what is the creators we need to know about? What is the content that the fans need to know about? That is what we're going to be doing here, and that is our statement that we really want to dive into, whether it's interviews, whether it's just breaking down books, whether it's just speculating about what we think is coming. That is what the Fanlight Zone is all about, and we want you to be a part of it. So you want to make sure you're subscribed up on the YouTube channel, because there's exclusive content coming there, and also fanlightzone.com and the social medias, because you never know what's going to be dropping there.
Absolutely. And on top of that, there's going to be shows. There's going to be things that are weekly, monthly, bi-weekly. There's going to be interviews that are being dropped on the Fanlight Zone YouTube as we do them. So, sometimes, it's not going to follow a specific schedule. Yes, we will have shows like this that are going to be coming to you Tuesday nights. Yes. By the way, to answer the question, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live, myself and Sammy will be bringing back the OG, the originator, 607 TWS, the wrestling show, returns to Fanlight Zone. No punches will be pulled in the world of pro wrestling. It will be right down the middle. It'll be brutally honest, and it will cover all of pro wrestling, not just the big two companies in the United States. So you have that to look forward to every Thursday night. So there, the cat's out of the bag. Make sure you're tuned in starting this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is kind of where we're going with it. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed, because there's going to be a lot of creators coming through, whether they're writers, artists, publishers, PR people. We've made a lot of contacts throughout the years, and those contacts are lining up to come in to have conversations about projects they're working on, projects they will be working on, and even like some really cool stuff that we have down the road with some people who are creating things that are adjacent to the comic book world. Because let's be honest, like you said, comics is pop culture.
Yep.
And with that being said, you never know who's going to show up to talk about maybe, collectibles, or who's going to show up to talk about the newest, website that's, changing the way that we buy things, and so much more. Because trust me, we're keeping our hands in our belts on anything and everything. Because once again, like you, we're fans.
Yeah.
And we would want to know about these things and spotlight them as well.
Exactly. So that being the case, make sure you're subbed up on your favorite platform, because you don't want to miss about anything we have going, especially the giveaways coming.
Ooh.
Oh wait, I did say giveaways, didn't I?
Yes, we have giveaways. If you did happen to see my basically Cyber Monday Skybound Entertainment, thank you to Skybound.
Shout out to Skybound.
Plugging them as well as other people to look out for gifts for the comic book fans. I did mention in particular, because we'll show it here, that we will be giving away this book right here, which is the volume 1 of the G.I. Joe. So this is issues 1 through 6 of G.I. Joe. This will be a giveaway that we're giving away, amongst other things we were going to be talking about very soon, because it's part of our segment.
Yes.
But I just want to throw it out there. We will be giving you the details here after the next segment, where we're kind of talking about holiday gift ideas. So make sure you pay attention, because one of those things is actually to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So you are watching us on YouTube. You're already here. Guess what? Subscribe up. And you already have gotten yourself partially entered in, because there's many different, we'll say tickets, if you will, for the drawing of how you can win these things. We're going to go over that very shortly, but we're showing you right here. This is a great book, by the way.
It's an amazing book. Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley have absolutely been crushing it right now. And especially with what's going on in the current storyline, which we'll get into a little bit later in the show. But like Rich alluded to, there's a lot of great books to pick up this holiday season. So we thought we'd do for the first segment of Fanlight Zone Presents is really break down some items that we think that'd be great holiday gifts to give out this year.
Yes, this is going to be, obviously we're watching, everybody who's watching this, I'm assuming, is a comic book fan or comic book adjacent fan. So that means there's people in your life. And sometimes you're like, hey, I don't know what to get that person. Well, that's all right. We got your hookup here at Fanlight Zone, because we're just going to go over a few things from a few different areas that are on sale, not just at the websites. We are going to highlight the publishers' websites because, obviously you can buy them there. But also, I would like to stress the importance. Get to the local comic book shop. You can buy a lot of these right off the shelves at your local comic book shelf, and you do two things. You sponsor and help support the creators of these wonderful projects, but also you are supporting local. And that's always a great way to be. We're always going to say that. However, if you do prefer to buy them online, we're also going to give you that information as well. But let's kick it off, Ken, because I know we have a very exciting one to me as our first look in there. And I know that well. That's Exquisite Corpses. They have the volume 1 out right now that you can purchase, and tell them about where you can find this wonderful item.
Well, Tiny Onion is doing some great things on their shop, so you definitely want to go check that out. And obviously, this book has been heavily hyped since it dropped. It has really been a phenomenal read. And I know, Rich, you've been reviewing it since day one.
I have reviewed every issue of Exquisite Corpses. I was blessed to be offered by Tiny Onion to actually get to review the first issue well in advance. I think it was a month before it came out. So I'm going to be honest. This is a great book. If you don't know anything about it, if this is your first time hearing of Exquisite Corpses, I'm going to give you a little breakdown because it's kind of an interesting run. So basically, James Tynion has started this with him and the team over at Tiny Onion. And what they did is they took their whole roster of great comic book creators and they said, okay, we're going to start this story, but then we're going to pass it to the next person and we're going to pass it to the next person. So every issue is written by a different member of the team and a different artist from the team. So you have these, it looks similar, but it's got that little flair in the writing, and they have a certain amount of creativity to go along with. There is a main story frame that was created. However, outside of that, it's writer's choice or artist's choice. They can do what they want with their issue. And it's kind of created some really cool things. Like I said, they have an outline that they probably stick to, but we talked about it. However, each issue, I said episode, it
Yeah.
almost feels
It
like
feels like
television
an episode. Yeah.
because each issue is literally something like it can be out of left field depending upon who's doing it. It's amazing work and it's such a cool concept. They have a lot going on. The first arc is, well, they're 13 issue seasons, but the first arc that they're putting out now has got the first 6 issues in it. They are going forward because obviously the first story arc will not end until issue 13. And at that point, we'll go into the next arc. But in between then and then, we're going to be keeping your eyes out, by the way, for the Exquisite Corpses game, which will
Yes.
be dropping, which we got to see at New York Comic Con this year. So a lot of cool stuff happening in this realm. It's something you want to do. It's shoptinyonion.com. You can check it out there. And I know you can also find it at the local comic shop because I'm a big fan of going in and looking for books that I review, which is it's one of my things whenever I stop at any comic book shop, wherever we are. And this is one that I see on the shelves, limited numbers, by the way, because people are obviously buying this one.
Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. And then if you have a pull list, not saying this is a gift, but as a pull list, it should be on there because it's a great book.
Absolutely. Like I say, it's in contention for book of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's read it, you know how good this series is. So one you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Another one that just came back for me, and obviously this series has been rocking and rolling. This whole imprint is one that's really taken comic world by storm, and that is Ghost Machine, and this is Rook Exodus. So this is like Star Wars meets Indiana Jones, like kind of vibe. Like it's just a wild story put together by Jason Fabok and Jeff Johns. And they just came back with their second arc right now, but volume 1 is out right now. Very worth picking up. Ghost Machine, ever since day one, which I mean, as you can see, Rich is repping the brand. We love this brand because it's been characters first, character driven. Any book you pick up, whether it's been the Family Odyssey line, whether it's been the 3 that kicked everything off with Geiger and Redcoat, and especially where they're going the horror with Hyde Street. There is just so many different looks as a comic fan that you can pick up. And Rook's Exodus is just so different, but it's so cool. Like I say, it has just this very unique sci-fi feel to it. And they just started their second arc. So when you pick up the trade paperback, you can go get the latest 2 issues that are coming out.
Yeah, the trade paperback is a great place to start with Rook Exodus, but I will also say this. Here's a good gift idea from me. And this is also a great way to help out the local comic book shop. If you have somebody who's into comics and is trying to get into something, Ghost Machine does have something for everybody. You might even want to consider to grab some issues from each one because you have a little bit of something, as you mentioned. If you have a horror fan, Hyde Street is a very good book, and there's spinoffs from that have been very good. If you're looking for something family and fun, the Rockefellers are there for you as well. Hornsby and Halo, I would also put in that kind of like a family, but there's a little bit of fun there to be had. And then, of course, if you are into like cool, I'm going to say superhero adjacent because some of them are heroes and some of them are a little more flawed. I'm looking at you, Redcoat, which is a great book. You have things like Redcoat, Geiger, Rook Exodus. And I know I'm leaving out some, so forgive me, but you can literally go out and buy a copy of each one of those. And not necessarily number one, but you could grab and jump in and give that to a comic book reader who maybe has fallen off or is looking for something new. Because trust me, Ghost Machine has something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been doing some amazing work ever since the imprint came out. They have a huge 2026 coming up. Can't talk any spoilers what's happening there, but man, let me just tell you, if you're a comic book fan, they need to be in your collection. Trust me, you will not go wrong picking them up.
And if you do want to order online, it is ghostmachinepro.com to order directly from them. But also, once again, I can't stress this enough, and you're going to hear it every time. Your LCS is the place to be. Go in there, talk to some people, and pick some stuff up.
Absolutely. Next up for me, this is one of my favorite series of the year. I'm not going to lie. This is such a mind-blowing experience that when you pick it up, nobody knew what to expect. Like we knew the absolute universe of DC Comics was going to be special. But I think this is by far the best series out of the bunch. And that is saying something. Absolute Wonder Woman is amazing. Absolute Batman has been the belle of the ball and been just phenomenal from point A to point B.
But I sense a butt coming on.
But when you can take a character like the Martian Manhunter and go completely 180 in presentation, you are doing phenomenal things. And that's what Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez have been doing here. Absolute Martian Manhunter Volume 1 is out right now by DC Comics. It is an absolutely phenomenal story. And where they go with the character and implement so many different themes in this series, and the visuals are just next level. Like every time you pick up an issue of 1 through 6, you're going to be blown away. And it is a very different read, but I like that. I mean, I don't want to pick up something that's supposed to be an alternate version and it feels the same. This is completely different than the Martian Manhunter we know from the DCU. And to take creative risks like this is something the whole Absolute line has been doing. And that's why I say, to say that this is up there, and for my money, and this is just my opinion, I do like it better than Absolute Batman, and I do like it better than Absolute Wonder Woman. But I love those series too. You won't go wrong picking up one of those, trust me. Or Absolute Superman, and obviously with the Absolute line going on right now, DC's been firing on all cylinders. But this series right here, that has been just such a breath of fresh air on a creative side that I love seeing stuff like this. I hope to see more of this. I know the series is due back very, very shortly. And trust me, they're going to pick up right where they left off. And the fans are all winning about this one.
Yeah, and on top of that being your pick, as you pointed out, you already mentioned Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, obviously very good picks. You can grab those while you're out. But also right now, especially for the collectors out there, the DC KO event is going on, and there is some amazing alternate covers. So if you have a collector in your on your list of gifts, if you will, that is something you might, if they like DC. I mean, I grabbed a great, when we were down in New York City, I grabbed a great cover by Daniel Warren Johnson, because I'm a wrestling fan, let's be honest, of Doomsday taking a brainbuster from Superman at an alternate cover, because I saw that when I was like, as a wrestling fan, I have to have it. But they're doing some really cool stuff like that. I know that there is the AEW crossover. DCKO, every issue does have an AEW one. So if they have a wrestling fan in your life and you have I know number 1 Hangman Page was on. I know that they have more planned. So therefore, I can't get stressed enough. If you have a collector in your life or somebody who's looking for wonderful decorations, I kind of like how we have Prince here. There's a lot of options there with DC as well, because they're really knocking it out with the DCKO. And also, I'm with you for bang for the buck. I think the Absolute series is one of the best things that's happened to comics in a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, when anytime you can allow creators to really have free reign of classic characters, and that is what you're seeing with a lot of the Absolute line, in my opinion. You're really seeing them go to extremes, and I think you need to do that. Like, it's not done for shock value, but I think it's just natural progressions of each story. And like we say, the 3 stories we keep bringing up, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, are all great examples of really taking a character and going in some very different places. Absolute Batman, trust me, there is no Batman story like this ever.
And I'm a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
So like, it's one of my favorite things is Batman. And it's, I make no qualms about it. Scott Snyder's my favorite creator. And he is actually obviously doing Absolute Batman as well, but he's doing things that are so different for the character, even for what he's done in the past with the character. This new Absolute line is fantastic. And I really think it's really breathed a lot of fresh air into some characters. And I'm not saying that those characters were dull by any stretch of imagination, but whenever you can make a character who stood the test of time feel new and all, but at the same time familiar, you're winning. And I think that that's what's happening, especially, and I'm agreeing with you with Martian Manhunter. That has been phenomenal, because I wasn't necessarily the biggest Martian Manhunter fan. I'm not saying that I disliked Martian Manhunter, but it wasn't on my radar. Absolute Martian Manhunter is definitely destination reading. Same with Wonder Woman. I mean, I think that they've done just an amazing job in the Lord's work, if you will, as Kevin Smith would say, doing these books. So it's amazing. So kudos to the whole team over there at DC, putting together not just the Absolute line, but also the DCKO line, because they're doing both and at the same time. And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's an amazing time to be a fan of the big 2. I mean, obviously DC is doing a lot of great things, especially coming out of KO. Marvel, you're coming out right now out of an X-Men event that's going to kickstart everything new there. Spider-Man's been firing on all cylinders. The Ultimate Universe is really going through some changes right now.
We have a brand new Incredible Hulk, and Infernal Hulk, but still it's brand new. So a different take on that we haven't seen before, actually, which is really cool. And of course, we're on the precipice of new Iron Man.
Yeah, so there's a lot of great things to be excited about there. And definitely go check out the trade paperbacks at your local comic shops for those stories this year, because they, like I say, there's so much change happening there that you don't want to miss out the great stories that happen this year, especially Ultimate Spider-Man. which has been their top book for so long now.
The 3 letters for the show, LCS.
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 Yes.
Let's go.
But we also have some other indies that we definitely got to highlight here as well as for great gifts.
So here's the thing: it's a great gift, and I want to highlight. This is also going to be a giveaway. Pedestrian.
Yes.
This is one of the books that is iChampion. So I've told the story before when we interviewed our good friends. Well, actually, we were interviewing Joey Esposito when I told the story, but I also have told it to Sean Von Gorman as well. When I first got into, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but when I first got into reviewing comics, this was the first book that I got indie wise that Ken said, this is a weird book, but you're going to love it. And I absolutely love it. If you've not read The Pedestrian, which has now won many awards, including a Ringo Award,
yes,
and it has been nominated for even more awards. So salute to the team over there, Sean Von Gorman, Joey Esposito, for this book. This is a tremendous read. If you have not read it, this is a great time. If you have read it, and you give the gift, because I think everybody should read this book, not just because I'm a fan, but it's something that you've never seen before.
Yes.
I promise you that much. And when you get done reading it, part of your brain is going to go, what did I just read? And the other part is going to go, I want more. And we will be giving a copy away. So once again, when we get to the end of this, we'll give all the things, but just know, if you smash the subscribe button already here on the YouTube channel, that's one way to get it, one entry for The Pedestrian.
How easy is that? How easy is that?
Simple. It's simple.
I mean, we start talking about indie classics. I mean, I say classics because that is an independent classic. Another one that really has been making some noise, and I'm so happy, is Michael Schwartz and Ismael Hernandez, Armored. Now, this story right here is so deceptive in how good it is, because you think that, oh, it's a young boy, a ghost, and where it goes from there. No. Like, this goes in so many different directions. This has been one of the best books I picked up in quite some time. I am super happy that it's now out and trade in, hardcover form here. And issue 6 just came out too, so there's a lot to be excited about. So if you haven't picked this up, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah,
because this is also another giveaway that we're doing.
Another giveaway. Armored, great book, by the way. I know both of us. We practice what we preach. We backed it on Kickstarter when they were actually putting together these nice hardcovers. The Kickstarter one had a nice dust jacket on it, and I know me and you both got issue 6, which is tremendous. So if you have not read issue 6 yet, go ahead and do it. But these books right now, I know that there's some in the LCS, and I know that they're selling them online, and we're giving this copy away. And trust me, Armored is one of those books that, much like The Pedestrian, if you're looking for something different and you're looking for something that is not, your run-of-the-mill book, this is it. And it's tremendous because it has all those hallmarks of a great hero book and a hero's journey book, but it's a kind of fun twist because it's different. And there's some comedy, there's some action, there's some coming of age. Literally, I think this book has everything.
It's so deceptive. Like, that's the easiest way to describe it, but it's the best way possible. Like, you see the book, you think one thing, and then as you get into the story, it completely blows you away with all the elements that Michael Schwartz wrote in this. It's so damn good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, great book. If you win this, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But if not, this is something that I would purchase for anything
that we're mentioning, you should go check out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I say, we're co-signing it at Fanlight Zone here, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And there's so much more that's going to be going on for the giveaways. I mean, that's just a small peek of what you should be checking out this week at the LCS for holiday gifts, or just treat yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. But those are 3 of some of the giveaways we're doing.
Yeah,
I said
little taste.
Yeah.
We're giving you a little taste. And how do you do that? It's simple. First of all, you get an entry as long as you're subscribed to the Fanlight Zone YouTube channel. So you're watching us now. Click the subscribe, click that bell notification. Guess what? You're entered.
Yeah.
Now, the other way to do that is you're going to go over to fanlightzone.com. You're going to find our social medias, your favorite one. Now, mind you, you could enter on all of them, but you're going to find your favorite one or all of them, whether it's X, whether it's Blue Sky, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook. I don't care what you're on. If you're on all of them, that's more entries. The more entries, the better. And you are going to go ahead and you are going to follow the page.
Yep.
That's simple. Literally, we're going to take it all together. We're going to pull in a pool. So if you're doing all of it, if you are subscribed to YouTube, if you are following us on all the social medias, you are entered minimum 6 times. I might be missing some, maybe even more. Just that simple.
It's that simple.
We're not even asking you to go even further. Now, granted, future ones, maybe there'll be some sharing and stuff, but this first one, that's all we need you to do.
Yeah. I mean, we can't make it any easier. So definitely make sure you hit those subscribe buttons. Make sure you're hitting those follow buttons as you're going to the comic shops tomorrow. But as you're watching this video, whenever you're checking out, make sure you go do that. And definitely go check out all those books we're giving away. And we have more coming too, especially another secret project that we can't go into just yet.
Got some stuff.
We got some stuff lined up because, like we say, we want to build this community with fans that want to talk comics. So if you want to talk some comics, make sure you hit that follow, subscribe, and definitely you'll have a lot to talk about this week because it's new comic book day.
Yeah, and I also wanted to touch on this before we move off of that. Is that I mentioned earlier we practice what we preach and we support things on Kickstarter. A lot of those things in the future, you never know. You know, you can find your best thing and maybe one gets shipped to you as well. But yeah, we're going to be going into new comic book day, kind of hot and heavy, and it is the first official new comic book day for fanlightzone.com.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to learn real quick that what we do is top tier, top notch, number one. Top guys not out. In this case, top guys in.
Top guys in. Well, like I say, the top team is coming in, and we have a lot of reviews dropping on Wednesday. But these are the top picks from our review team right now. And man, what a loaded lineup! I mean, this is just 4 of the many reviews we're dropping. So obviously, we alluded to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe 15 is dropping from Image Comics and Skybound Entertainment. Dreadnought War. Rich, what can you talk about that?
Oh my God. I just want to throw this out to you. I am a huge fan. Love what they're doing with the G.I. Joe line, and the Dreadnought War is amazing. We're on issue 15. We're going bi-weekly until the Dreadnought War is over. So that is pretty awesome. It was only a couple weeks ago that both me and Ken messaged each other back and forth for issue number 14. When in my opinion, I will stand by this, the greatest action sequence in any comic book that's ever existed goes down. Shout outs to Tom Riley for bringing that to life on the page. Listen, this is a great story. If you are not on board with the Energon universe and haven't got on board yet, this is a perfect time to get on board. You can jump in the Dreadnought. You can find out what's going on. Issue 15 ups the ante again. It's got a little bit of everything. There's a great amount of action. There's a great amount of backstory. There's a great amount of emotional depth for characters. And you even get to see a little bit more Cobra Commander than we normally see, just a tease. So I think this week, and when you're at the LCS, pick it up. If it is not on your pull list, oh boy,
you're
this
missing
is a
out.
Slam dunk ad.
You're missing out.
Why are you not reading G.I. Joe?
Yeah, seriously, it is one of the best books on the shelves, bar none.
Absolutely.
Another pick from our team is the Ultimate Universe 2 years in, #1 Marvel Comics, and reading the official solicitation. All paths lead to Endgame. In preparation for the Maker's return to the Ultimate Endgame, the Ultimate Guardians have been traveling all across time and space, recruiting members new and old, travel across the corners of the Ultimate Universe. Don't miss the dawn of many new characters, including Ultimate Daredevil. So this is a series that definitely is going to be drawing some buzz on New Comic Book Day, and rightfully so, because with the announcements from New York Comic Con of the fate of the Ultimate Universe, I think everybody is very curious to see how this all ends. And I'm going to put my quotations in because it's comics. Does anything ever really end?
TikTok, right? It's steal something from our good friend Killer Cross. TikTok, because April's when the shoe drops, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because that's what we've been told. However, as you pointed out, comics are comics, so we'll find out.
Yeah, so anything is literally possible there. So you definitely want to make sure that you're checking that out. Like I say, all the Ultimate books have been really crushing it, and it's a bittersweet moment, but knowing the creative teams behind this, I have full faith they're going to rock this.
I was going to say, as much as we talked earlier about DC with KO and also Absolute, the Ultimates universe has been phenomenal. It's been that level for Marvel, the same level for DC as those other ones. So if you're not checking it out, check it out. It's some great stories with some really cool character designs and some really cool characters doing different things than what you would normally see them doing.
Yes. So that said, another one near and dear to your heart. We're talking the King of All Monsters.
The Kasai era continues. That's right. IDW Publishing's Kasai era and the Godzilla line is out. We got Godzilla #5 dropping this week. Listen, man, They are doing some wonderful things with this universe. There's a different books. There's the mainline Godzilla book, but then you also have, the Dead Zone book and also Starship Godzilla. So they're doing a whole line, and they're all different. But the mainline Godzilla book, we got a kaiju that can talk. Even there's a secret revealed about Laminate. That is the name of that kaiju. And of course, how does this tie in with Godzilla? And of course, also Jason, who has Kasai powers that equal that of Godzilla. You heard me there first. It's in a tremendous line. It's doing different things than I've ever seen as a lifelong Godzilla fan. This is different than anything you've ever seen, although it still keeps to the familiar lore, but adding a little bit of a twist and just turning it up a little bit and making some really cool things. And they're doing some great stuff. Issue number 5. My written review will be out for it on Wednesday. However, I will tell you, this was a great issue. One of my favorites from this series so far. And it's one of those times where you get to that last page and they leave you on the perfect cliffhanger, because this is actually the end of arc 1. So issue 5 is the end of arc 1. Arc 2 starts with issue 6, and they give you the perfect, like, oh boy, I did not see that coming moment.
Yeah. Great stuff going on with IDW and the Godzilla line. So definitely have to plug that. Last but certainly not least, we're talking Batman number 4.
Batman.
Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez's run has been a very different one that we've been seeing in recent years involving the Cape Crusader. I dig it. It's different though. Like I say, it just has a different feel to it. Like it kind of combines different elements of the past lore of the Dark Knight with a little modernization. And this one, we're hyping up in New York Comic Con, and with good reason. So if you want to find out about what the buzz is about, you want to make sure you go check it out at the comic shops, along with all the great books dropping on New Comic Book Day. Because like I say, this is just a small piece of a larger pie that we can all feast on Wednesday.
And I would also like to point out Speed Racer from our good friend David Pepos is out this week. There will be, if you're watching this now, earlier in this day, so go ahead and go to the socials. Once again, while you're on those socials, make sure you follow, so that way you get entered to win some free books. But on the socials, there is a little spoiler-free review that I've put up, and of course, the full written review will be on Wednesday, as with everything else we're doing here. And then I also would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out that something later this week, little tease on social medias. There's going to be a very spoiler-free, super spoiler-free preview of TMNT number 13. That's right, the new era begins. And we're going to do a little bit of a spoiler-free tease going into it, because obviously that book drops and it's going to be amazing. I've already read it. So for those of you out there, take my word for it. It's amazing.
It's amazing. So definitely want to make sure you're checking that out, and also check out all the great reviews and content happening at the home of comics pop culture. And that is the fanlightzone.com. You want to make sure you're going there, checking out all the reviews. Let us know what you're picking up at the shops. We definitely love interacting with everybody. Don't miss out the video reviews that are dropping on YouTube. Shout out to Joey from the So Wizard podcast. He's got them all lined up for you, ready to rock and roll. And there's more content on the way. So make sure you subscribe early, get entered in the giveaways, and then stay tuned, because we have a lot more coming in the upcoming weeks. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. So that being said, thank you so much for checking out the first edition of Fanlight Zone Presents. On behalf of Rich and myself, I guess we have to come up with a real cool way to end things. So if you're into comics and you want to be in the know, there's only one place to go, and that's the Fanlight Zone. We'll see you next time.